the planes hit the towers, I was working in Greenwood at a middle school in a special ed classroom. And that particular day, they had called me to the office to help enter data into the computer. And a teacher came running into the office, and she wanted to use the phone to call and make sure her husband was okay because he had a meeting at the World Trade Center that day. So I didn't know what was going on, so I went back to my classroom, and the TV was on, and I made it back to my classroom just in time to see the second plane hit the towers. And I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know if it was supposed to happen, if someone had planned it, or if it was a mistake and planes had just crashed. But that's where I was. I was in Greenwood in a classroom the day on September 11th.
When the World Trade Towers were hit, I was teaching school. One of my students came in before second period and said, "Ms. Lyon, you've got to turn on TV. An airplane has hit the Pentagon and an airplane has hit the World Trade Towers." And I said, "Chris, you've got to be wrong. You're in separate cities." He said, "No, Ms. Lyon, turn it on, turn it on." And I turned TV on and we watched the airplane hit the second tower.
When the planes flew through the Twin Towers on 9/11, I was teaching at Lawrence High School. It was morning time, and some students walked to my room and told me about it, and I was in total disbelief. And I turned the TV on, and we spent the rest of the day watching in amazement and in horror.
Oddly, September 11th is my husband's birthday, so on that day, the minute that I heard it happen, I worried about him because my thought was that all of the United States was in trouble. I was teaching PE at Martha Dendy 6th grade center, and that day a large number of the kids had gone on a field trip to Joe Adair Center, so I had very small classes, 4 or 5 in each class, and we just pulled out the TV in the gym and sat and watched a few shot basketball. But my heart was heavy, and I was afraid of what maybe the world was coming to, and rejoiced in how the world pulled together after the event.
Yes, I do remember that day quite well. I was teaching 6th grade English at Thornwell Middle School and High School, and I received a phone call. The phone call was from my son at home, who said, "Mom, turn on the TV quick, we're in trouble."
At that time, I was working in Coach Rhodes' office doing discipline. I remember Coach Rhodes walking in and saying that the 9/11 tower hit by a plane. At that time, we did not know that there was going to be an attack. We thought it might have been an accident. And I remember walking out and walking to the front office, to the room next to where there's a little phone, to the room next to the office, and looking at the second plane come in and hit the towers.
Okay, it was, 10 years ago. I was at Joanna Woodson Elementary School, watching a class from Miss Trammell while she did something. I'm not even quite sure what it was. And they had the news up on the TV screens, and it came on. And I remember staring at it going, couldn't figure out what was going on for sure. And the kids started watching. I turned it off because I didn't need to be seeing that right now. And then as soon as Miss Trammell came back in the room, I went home and turned it on my television. And just sat there with my mouth open, not knowing for sure what was going on. And then the second plane hit, and it was, I don't even know how to explain it, because all I kept thinking about was all the people that were in it. So then I got on the phone, tried to call my mom and dad. My father was at work, and my mother was in the backyard, and she came in and answered the phone. And then she got on the phone, and neither one of us could speak, so we just hung up the phone, and that's where I was all day long, watching that television, trying to make sense of what was going on and why, what had we done that was so bad that they would want to kill all those people.